Hey everybody. So here we are at the All-Star break of the NHL season, a little bit past the halfway point, and I thought now is a good time to take a look at end of season awards and pick who I think should win the award if the award was handed out right now. So to this point in the season, who is my front runner for each of these awards? I picked out the major ones and we'll just go through them and I'll talk about who I think should win that award and maybe some of the other players who are in the running for it. And then obviously you guys can agree with me, disagree with me. Just let me know down in the comment section below who your award winners would be, and then we can all look and compare and just see what everyone thinks about all the major NHL awards. So I have MVP, Norris, Vezina, Calder, Selke, Masterson, and there's a reason that I really want to talk about that one, and Jack Adams up here for the award. So let's start with MVP, pretty self-explanatory, most valuable player in the league. Now, my pick for MVP is definitely not a surprise. I've already called him the MVP once this year in a video, and I believe he is the MVP this year. Let me just put his point total up there. My MVP is Nikita Kucherov from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, yes, Connor McDavid has a case, but the team isn't good, so he's not going to win MVP. You could make a case for Rantanen or McKinnon from Colorado, but they kind of cancel each other out. Johnny Gaudreau has a very strong MVP case this year. I think he probably would be my number 2. But my number 1 pick for MVP to this point in the season is Nikita Kucherov of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He has 78 points at the All-Star break. Not at the beginning of March, not at the end of the season. He has 78 points at the All-Star break. He is the best player on by far the best team in the league. For me, it's a no-brainer. Nikita Kucherov is the MVP. Yes, Tampa Bay would be good without him. They would not be nearly as good without him. You take Nikita Kucherov off that Tampa Bay team, and they are fighting for a playoff spot. You put Nikita Kucherov on that team, and they are running away with the President's Trophy. Nikita Kucherov is the MVP of the NHL this season, in my mind, without a doubt. Gaudreau probably is number 2. He has a very strong case as well. But for me, with what the Lightning have done this year and what he's done this year, Kucherov is your MVP. Norris Trophy, best defenseman in the NHL. This one, there are 2 people that really stand out for me with this one. I don't really think outside of those 2 there's much of even a debate. My Norris Trophy winner right now is Morgan Rielly of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mark Giordano from the Flames, also much like Johnny Gaudreau from the Flames, would be my number 2. I think Giordano has a very good case for the Norris as well. But for me, Morgan Rielly is my Norris Trophy winner so far this season. 50 points in 49 games as a defenseman. And it's not like he's just an offensive defenseman who's scoring a ton of points. He's plus 23 as well. Huge plus-minus rating for Rielly. So he's not only putting up a ton of points, he's playing defense in his own end as well. Rielly, on a team that overall their defense core is not good. Toronto does not have a good defense core. Rielly is the clear number 1 in Toronto. He is way, 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 way better than anyone else on that defense. And he, I think, has been the best defenseman in the league this year, both offensively and what he's been able to do in his own end. It's one thing to put up a ton of points as a defenseman, but if you're minus 20, what do those points really matter? Rielly is plus 23 this year. He's playing defense as well. And on a team without a great defense, he's playing very good defense, so it really stands out. I think Morgan Rielly should be the Norris Trophy winner this year, and he's my pick at this point in the season. Vezina Trophy, the best Sorry, I still can't shake this cough. Best goaltender in the NHL. I think there are a few goaltenders that definitely have um, a case here. But for me, as I spell his name wrong, my Vezina Trophy winner is Marc-Andre Fleury of the Vegas Golden Knights. Marc-Andre Fleury has been outstanding this season for Vegas. And if you remember correctly, Vegas had a really tough start to the season. Fleury was almost single-handedly keeping them in games. A lot of their early season wins, which there weren't many, he was the main reason that they won the game, and he really allowed this team to hang around the way that they did. And then after the first month or so of the season, a 6 weeks, then they started turning it around. They got back going. They turned their season around. And now look at them. They're right up there with the best teams in the Pacific again. They're right up there with San Jose and Calgary and look like a for sure playoff team this year once again. Marc-Andre Fleury is a big, big reason for that. He leads the NHL in wins with 27 as far as goaltenders are concerned. And he's having an outstanding season. And Vegas would not be in the situation or in the playoff position that they're in without Marc-Andre Fleury in net. So there are some other players that I think do have a shot at the Vezina. I mean, some guys are just always in the conversation. Some of those big-name goaltenders like Rene and Holtby and all of them. I think John Gibson's had a strong case this year, although with Anaheim's big-time struggles recently, I think he's kind of fallen out of it a little bit because if Anaheim doesn't make the playoffs, Gibson's not going to win the Vezina. It doesn't matter how good he plays. If your team isn't in the playoffs, you're not playing good enough. So I think Fleury on a great team like Vegas, who's really turned their season around, he's been outstanding all year long. Fleury's my pick for the Vezina. So now we have Calder Trophy, Rookie of the Year. And for me, this one's not close. And if it wasn't for some injuries, it really wouldn't be close. But Elias Pettersson of the Vancouver Canucks is without a doubt my pick for Calder Trophy Rookie of the Year. He has been incredible for Vancouver. Let me just pull up his point total here. Yeah, 23 goals and 22 assists for 45 points this year. In only 40 games, because he's missed a number of games because of injury this season. 45 points in 40 games as a rookie for Elias Pettersson. 23 goals, 22 assists. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And honestly, this year, I don't think there are a lot of standout rookies this year. There aren't a ton of guys in the running for the Calder. I think your next two, would be certainly Dahlin in Buffalo and maybe the kid in Dallas, Heiskanen, I think his name is. But they're both defensemen. You're not going to get large point totals from them. Elias Pettersson this year stands out from all the other rookies just because of how great he's been, his point production, and how important he's been to Vancouver. Vancouver would not be anywhere near a playoff spot without Elias Pettersson. And if he hadn't missed time because of injuries, he might be pushing 60 points at this point in the season. So, just outstanding season for him, and I think he's running away with the Rookie of the Year. In my eyes, and as long as he can stay healthy the rest of the year, and I really, really hope he does, he is going to finish with 70-ish points and be without a doubt the Rookie of the Year winner and win the Calder this year. On to the Selke Trophy, okay? Best defensive forward in the NHL. These guys, it's usually the same people in the running every year. Your Bergerons, Kopitars, Barkov now. It's generally your same guys year in and year out for the Selke because there are so few players that play that well at both ends of the ice. My winner this year is an old favorite, and I promise you, I am not just saying this because I'm a Bruins fan. Patrice Bergeron is the best defensive forward in the NHL, and he has been for a long time, and I think he still is. And yes, he's missed time this year because of injury. And it hasn't been, completely smooth sailing all year long for Bergeron. I'm trying to find him here on the point total list. But even with missing time, he's really had a great season for Boston. Here we go, 14 goals. Look at this, 14 goals, 27 assists, 41 points in just 33 games played. Let me check my phone. 33 games played, 41 points in 33 games played for Patrice Bergeron, and he's the best defensive forward in the league. If that's not Selke Trophy, then I don't know what is. That is the definition of a Selke Trophy winner. He's won 4 of them already. He should get his 5th this year, which I believe will be a record for most Selke Trophies in a career, if I'm not mistaken. He should get it this year. His point production has been incredible. His defensive play is just absolutely phenomenal. He's a great in the face-off dot. His neutral zone play, he might be the most responsible player in the NHL. And I'm not just saying it because I'm a Bruins fan. I think if you look at him objectively and just look at what he's done throughout his career, what he's doing this season, how can you name a better defensive forward in the NHL? And just look at the Winter Classic. He had the epitome of a Selke Trophy shift in the Winter Classic. He is the epitome of a Selke Trophy player. He stops a breakaway for the Blackhawks at one end. Incredible back check. Doesn't take a penalty. Stops the breakaway and takes away a scoring chance for Chicago, and then comes right back down the ice and scores a goal. And a few seconds later, he scores a goal. Patrice Bergeron they should name the trophy after him when he retires for the best defensive forward. There are so few players like that, and he is the best of the best when it comes to defensive forwards. Next up, the Masterson Trophy. This is for perseverance, dedication to hockey, overcoming odds, and there's a clear winner for that this year. Last year, it was obvious that the winner was Brian Boyle from New Jersey. Cancer diagnosis, got treatment, overcame that, beat cancer, and still played in the NHL. Went to the playoffs with the Devils. Brian Boyle was your clear-cut Masterson guy last year. Without a doubt, this year, it's Robin Lehner. I'll just put a stat up here for him. His save percentage. He currently leads the NHL in save percentage with a .931. Robin Lehner had some really dark days, especially in Buffalo, on the ice and off the ice. He was not playing well in Buffalo. He was their goalie during some of their worst years the last few years. He couldn't really even stop a beach ball, it seemed. He was struggling with substance abuse off the ice and alcoholism. And he's gotten sober. He's changed teams, signed with the Islanders, and now he leads the NHL in save percentage with a .931 this year. He's been outstanding for the Islanders this season. Just a tremendous turnaround for Lehner, a tremendous turnaround for the Islanders, a tremendous turnaround for him off the ice as well, which is what really makes this a Masterson season for him. It's what he's been able to overcome, getting sober, and really turning his life around and turning his career around has been incredible to watch this year. And now, not only has Lehner been tremendous, the Islanders have been tremendous, leading the Metro Division at the All-Star break when everyone thought they would be a last-place team. And Lehner has been a big reason why they're leading the division right now. So he's played a major role in it as well. No one else is even in the conversation as far as I'm concerned. Robin Lehner is your 2019 Masterson Trophy winner. And lastly, the Jack Adams. This one also I don't think is really close. It's a new coach on a new team who won the Stanley Cup last year and then left the Stanley Cup winning team. Once again, the New York Islanders, it's Barry Trotz. Barry Trotz is your coach of the year this year without a doubt. I mean, Yes, you have John Cooper in Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay is going to be, I mean, look at that roster. They're going to be good no matter who's coaching. I mean, you could literally get a garbage peewee coach to coach that Tampa Bay team, and they have enough talent to be a playoff team. The New York Islanders were supposed to be a last-place team this year. Everyone had them either the Rangers at the bottom of the Metro or the Islanders at the bottom of the Metro, and whichever team wasn't last was second to last. The two New York teams were supposed to bring up the bottom of the Metropolitan Division this year. They lost John Tavares in the offseason. That was supposed to be the end of the franchise. Right back into rebuild mode. We're done. It's been anything but that for the New York Islanders. They brought in some good key depth role players, Leo Komarov, Valtteri Filppula. They brought in Matt Martin. They brought him back after he left for Toronto for a couple of years. They're getting great play from their leaders like Josh Bailey and Anders Lee, and great play from young guys like Beauvillier and Barzal. I mean, it's just been incredible what the turnaround that the Islanders have had. They have John Tavares last year. They're the worst defensive team in the league. They don't make the playoffs with John Tavares because they can't keep the puck out of their own net. They fire the coach. Tavares leaves in free agency, and it's supposed to be the end of everything for the New York Islanders. They hire Barry Trotz. They bring in Lou Lamoriello to be the GM. He brings in some great depth pieces. They let their young players really grow and really take off in their careers. They trust their core players that they have, like Bailey and Eberle and Lee and Nelson, Boychuk, Leddy. They trust those guys. They stick with they bring in Robin Lehner. They stick with Thomas Greiss to be a 1-2 punch in goal. And look at how it's turned out. Barry Trotz has coached this team up to be a first-place team in the NHL. That is incredible. He has had a major impact on this team. They are, I believe, currently the best defensive team in the NHL this year. So they went from worst defensive team in the league last year to best defensive team this year. Or if they're not still at the best, they're at least top 3 this year. That is coaching right there, and Barry Trotz deserves the Jack Adams, and the Islanders absolutely will be a playoff team this year, and I don't think many people saw that coming at the beginning of the year. So, here are my picks for the major NHL awards at this point in the season. My MVP is Nikita Kucherov. My Norris Trophy winner is Morgan Rielly. My Vezina Trophy winner is Marc-Andre Fleury. My Calder Trophy winner is Elias Pettersson. My Selke Trophy winner is Patrice Bergeron. My Masterson Trophy winner is Robin Lehner. And my Jack Adams Award winner is Barry Trotz. Let me know what you think about my picks down in the comments section below. Agree with me? Awesome. Disagree with me? Let me know who you would have picked instead. Not everyone has to agree with me. It's fine to have different opinions. These are all subjective awards. They're based on opinion. But those are my picks. Let me know yours. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise stores are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.